We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Boxingego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia hits a snag and apparently is stalled out over a rematch clause. That's what I want to talk about in this video. Let's talk about it. We unpacked. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you come in. 2023 is going to be another phenomenal year on the channel. Please subscribe. Now, I made an introduction video breaking the news, and it is being reported by ESPN. They were the first to break this story that the fight between Gervonta Davis and Ryan Garcia for April 15th, that was the tentative date that it was scheduled. That particular fight has reached pretty much a halt, and they're having issues. It says the deal for the planned April 15th fight with Davis and Ryan Garcia hasn't been completed due to a dispute with the rematch clause. The sides agreed to a 136-pound catchweight pay-per-view, which is slated to take place in Vegas and which would be produced and distributed by Showtime with PBC as the lead promoter, which none of this stuff is brand new. We knew this, right? If Ryan Garcia were to win, however, and the rematch clause is activated, Golden Boy and DAZN argue that their side should be the lead promoter and pay-per-view producer and distributor. PBC and Showtime maintain that the promoter and network should remain the same for a potential encore bout, according to the sources. So this just looks like some more BS that you guys should be used to in the world of boxing. Every time there's a big fight, you run into these type of issues, public negotiations. To make that worse, Oscar De La Hoya took to his social media and basically, I guess you could say, threatened and try to put PBC on blast, which is what he's been doing. He says it's Super Bowl week and we're on the 1 yard line looking to score Gervonta Davis, Ryan Garcia. Let's hope PBC doesn't let the fans down and effing fumble it. So to me, this is in poor taste. Oscar De La Hoya with the fake abs. He just turned 50 years old. He's posting butt naked pictures with, only a Ring magazine belt that he owns covering him. I don't know why he posted that particular picture, but the point is he's 50 years old. Why on earth would you, if you really want to make the fight, why is De La Hoya so quick to make it a public issue? This is not the first time. He continues to do this. And to me, it's almost like little kid behavior. It's like a little kid would do something like this, or a high school, like let's say a high school couple would do this, where the girl gets cheated on, the jock kisses another girl, and then the girl's mad and she goes on social media and tries to air out the dude and just makes it overall sloppy, airs out the bad laundry, say he was a bad kisser, the guy was bad in bed, this, that, and the third. And it's just it looks juvenile and it looks very adolescent for De La Hoya to be doing this. Because again, and Ryan Garcia should have to put this in perspective in his team. So for starters, Ryan Garcia, he took to social media a couple months ago regarding this fight, and he says, I instructed my team to take the deal as it is. He says, we like the deal, and I told him we're good with the deal as is. So what is this whole thing from De La Hoya and this whole stumbling block, if you will, about, hey, PBC, don't fumble? The bottom line is De La Hoya and Golden Boy are not in the driver's seat. And I'm not trying to air Golden Boy out because there's probably some good people that work for him and things like that. But the reality is their stars are leaving. Guys like Canelo Alvarez, Senicia Estrada, Ray Vargas, a lot of people have left Golden Boy. Even their matchmaker, Roberto Diaz, for whatever reason, his contract was not renewed and he's no longer the matchmaker with Golden Boy. And the way Oscar's running the show is not surprising. They also had a Golden Boy he was, I guess you could say, announcer. He would do like the announcements for the Golden Boy events and weigh-ins. Tattoo, who end up trying to sue Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya has other lawsuits and things like that. So at the end of the day, it's not a good look for your company when you have all this stuff going on in the background. And then in addition, you're responding like a high schooler and saying, hey, don't effing fumble and that type of stuff. It just looks like a classic case of a blame game. Like, we can't wait to blame the other side. And we're already starting to pave the way in case the fight doesn't happen, so we can have our scapegoats on deck. Say Al Heyman, he doesn't want to make a fight. I mean, just listen to what Oscar De La Hoya said. He says Al Heyman's blocking the fights and Al Heyman this, and De La Hoya tried to sue Al Heyman, and PBC doesn't want to work with anybody, yada, yada, yada. But a lot of people say these things, and it really reminds me of like Gossip Girls. Like, a girl gets cheated on and her dude, they obviously break up because the girl got cheated on, and the girl's with her girlfriends and they're trying to console her because she's heartbroken that she got broken up with and she got cheated on by her fiance or boyfriend or whatever. And then the girlfriends are, to console the friend, they're dogging the guy to make her feel better. Like, oh, you didn't need him. He wasn't a good man. He couldn't keep a job. That's what it reminds me of when it comes to this type of stuff, because De La Hoya is just talking about all these things that Al Heyman and PBC, they're doing this and they're blocking the fights. And you have a lot of people with old media that actually run with this and say these things are true. PBC doesn't want to work with people and won't make the fights with nobody and won't send their guy. But if you really analyze it, if you really and truly analyze it, that's not the case. Sean Porter fought Terrence Crawford on a top rank card and PBC had nothing to do with it. So De La Hoya's not trying to do that with Ryan Garcia. Why doesn't he just take his cut and then let Ryan Garcia go fight on PBC Showtime, which does a better, just an overall better job. It's easier to access. They have a linear television network, backed by CBS, the parent company. So do with PBC, since Al Heyman don't want to release his fighters and this is the mumbo jumbo that old media is spouting, then why don't they do that? Why don't they just like Sean Porter fought on ESPN on a top rank only card, let Ryan Garcia do that, and then you don't have any of these problems, right? That's an easy solution. Again, it's like comfort food. Old media, they say this stuff because in their brain it sounds good, and people think if you throw ish on a wall, hopefully something will stick. And I forgot who said the quote, but there's a quote where if you lie, it might be Hitler. I don't remember who actually said the quote, but basically there's a quote that says something. I'm just going to give you the gist of it. It says something to the effect of, if you lie enough times, then people will start to believe it, right? And that's what old media is hoping. They're hoping to the anti-PBC crowd, the anti-Al Heyman people, right? The old media. They say these things and they hope that people just will continue the tradition of dogging PBC and saying PBC won't do this and won't send their fighters and they don't want to make fights with nobody and they don't want to work with nobody. But historically, I can give you examples like I just did with Sean Porter and Terrence Crawford, sent him to an ESPN telecast to be on a top rank card with no involvement other than whatever their arrangement was for, PBC to probably get a portion of Sean Porter's purse, right? Or whatever their deal is. Another more recent example, since Sean Porter, some people, ego, you using Sean Porter, he's retired, he got a pot. Okay, what about Stephen Coolboy Fulton, who the report says he's going to go to Japan to fight Naoya Inoue, who's a definitely a top fighter. And I mean, you're going to enemy territory. So if Al Heyman was what Oscar and old media have said, he doesn't want to make the big fights and think, why on earth is Coolboy Fulton doing interviews with Brian Custer and the reports are saying that he's going to fight in Japan? They clearly could have made Brandon Figueroa, which was the initial rumor, Brandon Figueroa versus Cool Boy Fulton, the champion, and they could have just did that rematch. But instead, he wanted this fight, and then now it looks like they're setting it up to have them fight in Japan. So, I mean, none of these things make sense. So for Oscar De La Hoya to campaign and do these interviews and, oh, I hope PBC doesn't fumble, it looks like he's intentionally trying to fumble the ball to prevent Gervonta Davis from scoring, you know? It's just like a fighter getting his butt whooped in the ring and he starts fouling. He starts shooting low blows. He starts hitting behind the back of the head because he's frustrated because he's getting whooped, and he'd rather get disqualified than to get knocked out, you know? Or sometimes fighters, when they know they're like Hector Luis Garcia versus Gervonta Davis, he knew that he was in bad shape and he was likely going to get knocked out like brutally. So he just quit on the stool, right? And we've seen these things. So that's what it looks like to me from De La Hoya. He's looking to sabotage this, or potentially sabotage this, or exercise power and leverage that he really doesn't have, because he's not the A side in this equation, nor is DAZN. And he might end up kamikazing this particular fight, because I don't think he really truly wants Ryan Garcia to fight Gervonta Davis, because it's a big fight. It's a super fight. The fans want it. Gervonta Davis, mark my words, I don't care what you feel individually, because I don't even know who some of you are that are listening to the video. So I don't know your track record for getting predictions. Mark my words. If they do fight next, Gervonta Davis would be the favorite on the sports book. And if I know that, then De La Hoya knows that. And if De La Hoya knows that, he has to look at it entirely different. To me, I'm a fan, so may the best man win. He has an asset that he is looking to protect, which is Ryan Garcia, because we know only two guys have went the distance with Tank. Really, only one guy has only went 12 rounds with Tank, right? So if Ryan can't pull it off, then that's a major setback for Oscar's only remaining cash cow. Canelo left, Sinisi Estrada left, etc., as I said earlier in this video, and I think that's more of the issue. So he's trying to look for these little sticking points that, let me say it like this, there's multiple ways to duck a fight. Somebody can ask for an extraordinary amount of money you know you're not going to get. That's a way to duck, because if you say, yeah, I'll fight, Mike Tyson, but you got to give me $20 billion. Okay, you know you're not going to get $20 billion, so the fight won't be made. Or if you lowball somebody, if you say, yeah, I'll fight, you could fight me for the belt. Like if Canelo says, yeah, Charlo, I'll fight you. David Morrell, I'll fight you. Benavidez, I'll fight you. But we're only going to pay you $20. Of course, they're not going to take it. So there's multiple ways that you can like finagle and finesse your way out of a situation. And the same thing is with the negotiating. If your promoter really truly doesn't want to make the fight, then there's little grievances and impasses that you can initiate that you know the other side will not go with, because they're the A side, that create turmoil. And then if they're not willing to budge and you're not willing to budge, then you have another Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford type of situation, where Crawford is like, give me a huge guarantee. They're not going to give you the guarantee you want, because none of your track record shows that that would be a wise investment. So make your money on the back end with the success and promote the show, and then you'll make a lot of money, career high payday. But Terrence Crawford wants, it sounds like he wanted a bigger upfront money or whatever. And he wanted to be all in the books and all this extra stuff. No trust in the PBC. So we'll see how it all plays out. But to me, I'm not holding my breath, because I know what the real problem is. Let me know what you guys think. Who is the real problem here? Drop your thoughts in the comment section. We unpacked. Introducing Super Thanks. Right here on the official Boxingego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with the $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new, interactive, and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.